Hi, it's Kit. I just want to make that video so you know what has happened over the last years. I always wanted to write something long or so, but I have always struggled to find the right words to write and stopped mid writing. So I thought a video makes more sense, so everybody can watch it or see it. What's been going on? So let's start from the beginning. Guys, I studied medicine now like for 6, 7 years or so, and the issue was after like year four, you basically only spend the rest of the time at the hospital. So you work in the hospital, basically like an internship, and because you have to learn every skill by the end, because when you finish your studies you start right away working as a doctor, so there's no time to train you before. You have to learn everything while you're studying. And while I was working then in the hospital and went through different departments, I noticed that there are some problems for me dealing with that work. Mainly, I couldn't separate private life or private emotions from professional life in the hospital. So, in while I was working there, I had several great mentors there who taught me a lot of things. And one of those mentors I was admiring because he was very friendly towards the patients, which wasn't usually the case. And I asked him like why he's so different than the others, and he said to me like, "It's good that you noticed that, but you have to be careful, kid, because when you do this job for too long, you basically become more numb to the emotions, both to yourself and to the patients, and that's how many doctors deal with their job." And I didn't understand it really when he said that to me. But later on, I noticed that the issue was I was basically so emotionally spent from the work that when I was like finished with the work and returned home, I basically was useless. I didn't have the drive, I didn't have the fun, I didn't have any emotions left like for the rest of my private life. And it only got worse. It got worse with every single day, every single time. Every day I continued with my studies, and I actually got lucky. Like a lot of other friends of mine who studied medicine, they got to departments which were pretty terrible to the interns, and I treated them really bad. I actually got lucky. I had almost every department was great, and I learned a lot of things and met great people, great doctors. But even then, I was struggling to deal with the emotional side of the job, because very often you are stuck between what you would want to do for the patient and then what is required for you to do. It can be like that you recommend somebody to do something which you would personally wouldn't do that. That was one of the main issues during my last rotation at the surgery and orthopedics department, where there are a lot of medical issues where there's a surgery where I personally would prefer like a more conservative approach beforehand, non-invasive it's called, and do a lot of physiotherapy before, but it's not sexy, it's not getting paid, and that's why orthopedics always tends to go to surgery, and I really didn't like that. And during this time, like my mood got worse and worse, and I fell into really deep depression, and it was really really bad. And once you fall in that depression, you really think like, what are you still doing in this life, and why does it make any sense? And maybe I should just stop it, and so on. And you have to confess that things like suicide and suicidal thoughts are creeping in, because you think like, what am I doing here? It makes no sense. Like, I cannot do this job. It's just killing me inside, and so on. And the one thing which changed, or not changed, but made me try to change that situation was like thinking about my brother, Sean, and that my position as his brother is, you can't replace me there. It's the closest family left after our parents died. So I cannot like leave him alone here in this world. So when I realized that you feel like useless, or like everybody's better off without you, that was the key point to find help or seek help. And he recommended me to go to therapy, and psychiatric therapy, consultations with a therapist really helped. And it helped me like to deal with the trauma of the death of my parents. And I realized the main reason why I started studying medicine was to never get back into that situation where you feel helpless and have no idea what they were talking about. Like when my mother was diagnosed with cancer, this thyroid cancer. From what I know now, I could have told her that she has 3 months to live, because that is such an aggressive cancer. I didn't know beforehand. If I had told her, I could have said like, okay, maybe we shouldn't do like this a massive surgery where she loses her voice for her last weeks, because the chances of that helping to kill the cancer are basically zero. And if I had known that, I could have said that. And that's some guilt which I've been carrying like the whole time. And during the therapy, I understood, okay, I understand that you want to help the whole family in case somebody gets ill again or sick again, and to be able to advise them and never feel that helpless again. But you don't have to be a doctor for that. Like, you don't have to do this job as a doctor in order to medically consult and help the family. And that's when after that, it took like several months. After that, I was able to say, okay, I quit the medical studies. I will stop this life. I will not pursue that and go this way where I feel like so unhappy. Okay, so now I'm still in Vienna, and I will apply to several jobs within my old industry of sports betting. I will apply anywhere in the world, like at different companies. Actually, I will also apply at companies who are based in Canada, or even Ontario, Toronto region. So, because Canada has just opened gambling for private companies, so it's a long shot. I'm not gonna lie, but I will also apply there, and who knows, maybe actually like I could end up being in Toronto, Ontario, which would be awesome to see you guys. So yeah, that is basically like all I wanted to say now. If you have questions, just write me. I will try to answer them as soon as I can, and I will keep you updated. And I want to assure you guys, I'm doing much better now. I'm continuing with therapy, and try to get back to being a happier person. Okay, guys, see ya.